Yeah, I want to talk about. It's a series of things I want to talk about in terms of certain battle rappers. Like, what makes sense for them going forward. Um, you know what? Let's just start there. So this is what I mean by this. The conversation right now for everybody is clearly the Mook and Verb, and it should be. But then the conversation is what's next for Verb. And for me, the way I look at that question is Verb has a lot of options. Does Mook have that? Like, what's an acceptable battle right now for Mook? After this John battle, what's an acceptable battle for Hollow? Do you see where I'm going with this? Like,
Yeah.
There's some guys who somewhat hit a peak, and it's like, what is actually next for them? Like I could understand, a Mook Surf battle.
Yeah.
But if that's not happening, what makes sense? What is acceptable? What is going to make the culture be like, especially after seeing how crazy that Verb, I'm not watching this shit again. I'm not. But after watching how crazy that battle was, regardless of, everyone has dissected this to the smallest syllable in the fucking line. I'm past the shit. I just really want to know, like, if if Murder Mook and Surf isn't, it becomes something impossible to line up. What's acceptable? What's on people's caliber because they felt Verb wasn't right before this battle happened. So many were saying Verb don't even belong on the same stage as Mook, and then of course the narrative has changed. But what I'm saying, I'm pretty sure you get what I mean by now, DME. So talk to me, man.
I was one of the guys too that wasn't excited for the Verb situation, not because Verb didn't deserve it or shouldn't have been it. It was just, I'm a guy who goes off last performances, and I just wasn't excited. But Mook's a different story because he's never battled. So what's his last performances? Like 2 performances? Like he's got 2 performances in 6 years. So battles, as far as I'm concerned, for Mook, I've always still wanted to see Calico, and I wanted to see Hollow. I do want to see Surf. Other than that, I don't know. And as far as Verb, yeah, I think the Lux battle is definitely gonna be going down, man. I don't know where, when, but I think that's gonna happen. I thought the Lux Verb battle made more sense than Mook Verb, because they had a little bit of history. So, and Hollow, I'll wait to see how that John battle plays out. He's got a battle books, and we don't exactly. Apparently, it's in November. Hollow and Avocado did confirm it was in November sometime on Ruin Your Day because he was on the show. So, I'll wait till that, develops, and, it all depends how that turns out. Because, man, I'm scared if John wins that battle. That's interesting to me. I don't know what to do with that. But I don't know, man. Every time I bring up Calico, everyone's like, nah. So what? Hollow Mook? If Surf's not gonna happen?
Well, for me, I see 3 things. First off, you bringing up Calico, you're probably maybe the second person I ever heard bring that up.
For the history.
And
the K-Shine battle.
I personally, I look at it style-wise. Style-wise, I like it.
Okay.
I like it style-wise. It's not, okay, so the best way for me to say it is Calico and a Surf styles are so different than what we saw with Iron, what we saw versus Lux, and what we just saw versus Verb.
Yeah.
Like, all their styles are different, all of them. You can't compare them. And I think that's what makes it more intriguing. The fact that you can't compare Calico to Iron or Lux or Verb. You can't do the same with Surf either. So to me, that's what makes it that much more better. In terms of like would Mook be intrigued by that? I don't think so. Of course Mook is gonna go where the paychecks are at, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, they hinted in that pay-per-view when they announced the Mook battle, they hinted like if they had like a 2 battle deal with Mook.
On
But
RBE?
but check this out though, and I have the footage on my channel. If anybody goes back and listens to Mook on that face-off, especially when he starts airing out URL, he sounds like he has more invested than a 2 battle deal.
Yeah,
And I don't know if people really caught that. That it almost seemed like he was saying like if he had some sort of ownership in the RBE. You know.
I caught that. I blogged on it actually, or mentioned it maybe in a live
Yeah?
blog. I was like, Mook kind of insinuated here because his thing was he was mad. He actually put it out there, which we've been all saying since day one, that the Summer Madness got the SmackDown got switched to Summer Madness. He said that, right? And he's like, he took offense to that because that's hurting his business because you don't know what kind of stake he has here. You don't know what's involved here. He might have like kind of insinuating maybe he's got a multiple deal, maybe he's got a percentage. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out. He was kind of insinuating that he's more invested in RBE than we may know, and Smack doing that was kind of like he took that personal. He said that was exact words. I took it personal. So yeah, I would love that because listen, I know I don't like I hate doing the league thing, but I love when the leagues are competing with each other. I think it brings out the best in both. And as far as now, when I say competing, I don't mean the way that they like maybe you think URL does it, the shadiness. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about actual competition.
Thank you for clearing that up. That's where I was going next. So thank you for clearing.
I know what you were thinking there, and I don't like that. I don't at all. But I like just healthy, fair competition. Oh, look what RB like in the URL's mind. Look what RB just did. They had a fire event. That's crazy. We want to top it, but let's top it by not blocking battles. Not like that. Just topping it, being fair, doing what they do, and putting on a great event. And that I think we all win there. But the problem with what you're gonna say is what happens and what ends up happening is all the shystiness behind the scenes and the dirtiness of them. That's not where I'm even thinking. Healthy competition, I think, is great, but the way it ends up becoming, that's kind of what spoils everything, Yeah.
So. No, I'm with you on everything that you're saying with that. Just to go back into the point of the conversation, when we sit here and look at a guy like a Hollow, after this John battle, like what's next? Like what's next that's fair to the people at the same time is gonna motivate? Because if I have to go off what Hollow, Mook, all the let's say celebrity tier guys, I don't know if that's even a thing, but I'm pretty sure you understand what I'm saying. When it comes to these guys, after a certain amount of things, it's not only what's gonna pay them the most, because clearly, they're gonna entertain the conversation for the bag, but they also need to be motivated. Like Hollow says, he likes battles anybody likes competition that motivates them. Even down to us on our everyday lives. Some things competitively will create something more for us, something to look forward to, something to push forward to. So when you're able to do that in your job, like I've worked with guys that we had a respectable competition. Like I had no issue with them, but I didn't like working around certain guys because I felt like, what is that? Like personally, they consider me a floor specialist in terms of the machinery and stuff I use for floors. So at the end of the day is, when I go and I see one of my homeboys and they did a fucking office floor that looks crazy, that motivates me. I give them their props first, like, yo, man, that's dope.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, nah, I'm trying to bust his ass on this side. Pause. Like, nah, I'm trying to outdo him on that.
Exactly. Yeah.
But whenever they have me with a bunch of guys who like that shit ain't motivation, because I knew y'all can't fuck with me. So yeah, they're gonna pay me the overtime money for me to stay a little later to finish something. But it's like, do I really give a fuck? But then if you put certain guys with me and they like, okay, it's overtime and you're kind of competing with him on the room right next door, it's like, nah, you know what? I'll take overtime and I want to kick his ass. You know what I'm saying? So when I look at a Hollow, when I look at a Lux, all these guys, well, right now I'm talking about Hollow. Like after this John thing, you done battle Joe Buttons, Disaster. I mean, maybe you could look forward to a 3-rounder, which I don't give a fuck about, but you know, that's a possibility. But other than that, you know, he had the Lux, the Surfs, and right now the John Jones. After that, what's the next storyline? What is the next motivating factor for Hollow? I can't see it.
I mean, before I answer that, and I know what you're saying. Do you think that people, like you said, the motivation thing? I hear that a lot, and I agree with you with the Hollows and the guys. I think. Do you agree that it needs to be? You need to earn that to say, oh, I need to be motivated, because you know some of these new guys come on there like a twerk, not motivated for DNA. You haven't earned that to not be motivated for DNA.
He
Hollow's earned that. Like Hollow took
they earned that.
Exactly, and Hollow's been on BET. He went through all these guys. He wasn't motivated to battle all those guys. He has the history. He earned it. I see these young guys playing that same card, and that's ridiculous to me. You should be happy. Like when you first got in your business, you weren't like you're not gonna, you know, like you're not gonna be like I wanna be with the top guys. It's different, you know. You got to earn your way up to being like that. So, you know, I agree with the Hollows and all the top guys who have been around forever. They earn that right to not be motivated. But I feel like all the battlers, like not all of them, I hate when I say that, but a lot of them have that attitude where they're just they're not motivated to battle somebody. But who are you at that point, right?
Yeah, like I'm with you 100%. Actually, what we should be saying is the fucking nerve of you,
right? Yeah.
and the audacity. At the end of the day, there can't be an argument in terms of motivation. Anybody with some sort of motivation, you can expect them to take things to a higher level. You can expect more quality from them, things of this nature. That's not rocket science. But if no motivation ain't enough for you, how about the fact that you want to get yourself to a status like these guys?
Exactly.
Or the fact that you took the fucking check. There's nothing else to talk about. You sign that contract, you take the check, motherfucker, give me your best.
Or motivated to bring your brand up. You know, isn't that the point? Like why would you put a subpar performance that hurts you? You know, you should be trying to beat yourself. That's what Hollow usually says a lot. He goes, I'm not battling my opponent. I'm battling my last performance. You know,
listen, and I can understand that. And do I think that that's 100% true? No.
No, it's maybe mentally he's trying to convince himself of that. You know,
and I'll take that.
Yeah.
Because a bad Hollow is miles better than a lot of these guys on a good night. And here's the thing: Hollow has earned that shit. At this point in his career, Hollow has other things moving for him, right? He seems, I don't know, he seems to be in a comfortable position where he's not rushing to take battle rap checks. Right. He seems to be in a comfortable position. So the reason why I mention that is that's taking years of work. That's taking years of dedication, years of fucking quality work. Let me say that. You might not have liked a few lines of his. So fucking what? In terms of the big picture.
Right.
I'm not saying that you shouldn't have an issue with whack lines. I'm just saying, you know, Hollow isn't giving you a whack round, a whack bar from lack of trying. That's not happening.
It's usually it's never a whack battle. It's usually like, you know, every dry spots everyone's gonna have. So
yeah, it happens, but it's not from lack of effort.
Right.
Hitman used to be one of my favorites, and he's not anymore. And a big thing is, it doesn't. While I might not agree with all the bars he has, the man comes with that effort every fucking time.
Yeah.
So I have nothing negative to say about these guys, because even more so, dear me, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think another thing that brings you, me, and Visuel together on a better note is our appreciation for guys. Like, we can appreciate a bar better than a lot of other people can. We can appreciate certain battle rappers more than a lot of people can. There's a lot of guys that we have praises for that people look at us and be like, man, this dude's fucking corny. But we appreciate what they're bringing to the table every time. And that's what it's about. So when you sit here, like, work hard today, that much harder, so you could be in Hollow's situation and we can have this conversation about you. Where we're like, damn, what's next? You did it all. You did it all. What's next for you?
Exactly. And as far as Hollow goes, are you interested in a Hollow Mook battle after John? I don't know where else they go. Like, where else?
I'm interested, but I'm not pushing for it, if that makes sense. Like
I'm trying to picture it, you know. It's like Mook's gonna be doing his Mook thing, and then I don't know. I'm trying to picture it, man.
It will be that will be for historical purposes.
For sure, yeah.
You know, it's one of those things. Like after a while, everybody wants to see the clash of the Titans.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what you want to see. Like Verb might have just put. I don't think might have. I believe even before the Mook battle, but especially now after this Mook battle, his performance put him in the Titan category for me. In terms of, I really think that Verb could sit out the rest of the year right now and pick and sit back and pick his opponents how he wants, and it'd be hard to argue that because for me, Verb has done so much before the Mook battle. So
the guy who's earned has earned it, you know. So
yeah, so it's like that. And this, look, I just did, and I'm gonna drop it later on today. Probably by the time we drop this, I think I will drop it already. I just did the recap on QP Clean Paper versus C3 of Black Ice Cartel. And every time I see QP in his recent battle, it's every time I watch him battle, but especially in his recent battles, I see fucking greatness. I feel like Clean Paper is one of them guys who, had he not done a lot of shit that he did, might be sitting himself in the category to be pushing towards that Titan level because
I always said that.
he should have had some of the biggest battles already. That guy is the complete battle rapper, in my opinion. He is the complete battle rapper. So when I see, I'm like, yo, fuck, like why not right now put it all in there? Because one day you will be sitting. You know how guys come out and say, Mook or Lux is on their high horse? Motherfucker, to a degree, yes. Yeah. What I don't like in terms of guys on that stature is, like I said, and I went at Mook about this, you know, I don't like the holding the culture hostage shit. Either you gonna do the fucking battle or you not.
Money situation.
Don't say that again.
The money situation, how much you ask for, and like.
Yeah. And again, like of course, it's hard to argue worth, but to me, it's not just about worth. Like I don't like I have a battle this tomorrow for 50,000, and after that battle, immediately, I want 100,000 now. I want 150,000 now off the next one, and then the next one. It's like your fan. It's almost like you're pricing yourself out of battles and out of the culture. But then let a big battle happens, and you want to do interviews about you. Right. You want the spotlight back on you. Fuck out of here. Jump in the ring. You know, he finally did, but that's not the point. Like, how long did it take for that? But every time a big matchup was coming out, Mook is in an interview talking about Mook, talking about what should have happened.
That's what Hollow would
fucking make it happen.
When they would ask Hollow about Mook like a year ago, so every time it was hilarious. He would always say, "Mook's a battler? I thought he just does interviews. I thought he's just an interviewer. I didn't know he was a battler." I was like, he's like, just talk. You know, if he's a battler, we can talk about it. I didn't think he was a battler, but okay. I thought he just does interviews. That's what he always said.
You know what I want to see, and I don't know if it's out there for them. I like, because like I said, Hollow has done so much. I like the thought, like when they were talking about Hollow versus Pat Stay, I fucking love that idea. You know,
I love the battle. Nobody likes the battle but me.
No, you know what it was? I think that the doing the 1 round overseas and then
I like that 1 rounder and I like the 3 rounder.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. The 1 round I watched, I think once, maybe twice.
I've watched it 10 times.
The one after that, I think I watched it twice.
Oh, okay, that's one of my favorites.
And the truth is that I'm gonna go back and watch it. I don't know what it was about that battle that kind of annoyed me. Like I don't know what it was that I remember being annoyed by something, and therefore I didn't go back and watch it again. But the reason why I liked it, number one, I think highly of Hollow. I think highly of Pat Stay. But I also like that Pat Stay, and he continues to go on a run at legends, so to speak. Pat Stay doesn't back down from situations, doesn't change his style much for any of these situations.
Right.
But even more so for Hollow is that diversity, that constant challenge of something else. So I guess the point I'm making is, would it be possible to get Hollow in a situation against another legend across seas somewhere? Someone someone like I mean, not that he has to, because everybody thinks they got to fucking battle Oxy now. Fuck out of here. I don't want to see everybody battling Oxy. But one of a similar magnitude is what I would love to see for Hollow.
Well, I just remembered this, and I think, I don't know if it was Disaster who brought it up. I always forget who brought it up in their battle, but the Hollow cost line, the King of the Dot was trying to book Hollow and Iron Solomon, and instead it became Disaster Iron Solomon because Diz said they couldn't afford Hollow. It was one of the Hollow costs. It was a very clever line. How about Hollow Iron?
I'm not as interested in that.
Isn't that Hollow Iron?
I'm not saying I'm not. I have nothing but admiration for them both, so I will watch it. I'm not calling for
like
it.
A style clash, maybe.
Yeah, I would like to see Iron and Lux or
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. There's a lot of guys I want to see Iron against, but Iron and Lux has been talked about a lot.
Yeah, but you know what? Iron Lux to me is also, and you tell me what you think of this. But I would like to see Iron Lux on like a Smack volume. This probably would never happen.
That's what whoever talked. No, Loaded Lux was on. Shout out to Dre, PSA podcast. He did an interview with him.
Yeah, I heard some of it.
Brought that up, and he did, and Dre told him, I want to see that on Smack volume, and Lux concurred. He said, yeah, that'd be great. So
yeah, but the reason why that won't happen, the Smack volume isn't going to give Lux the money he wants.
It's not the money. Yeah, there's no door. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. So, I mean, on top of that, in terms of Iron, because we gotta go. Iron, I think crazy highly of Iron, but I don't think Iron's in the same situation as a Hollow or a Lux or a Mook in terms of you can still see matchups for Iron. Right now, we can sit here and come up with multiple matchups for Iron.
Yeah.
We can't do that with these other guys.
Yeah, they got more work, and then I hear what you're saying. And then Mook's always the interesting one because he hasn't battled really anybody, but we're having a tough time who we want to battle, right? I guess it's a stature. I don't know.
No, that's what it is, dear me.
Yeah.
It's because I say it this way, and I say this with respect, but people think I'm trying to disrespect Mook. I'm not trying to disrespect Mook. I'm just saying the fucking truth. Like, I don't have, even at the press conference, I had opportunity to talk to Mook. A few of us. Shout out to the guys from Let's Talk Battle Rap podcast. We were there. We got to chop it up with Mook. And it was dope because it was just a regular battle rap conversation. There was no Hollywood shit. There was none of that. You
said he was real down to earth, being cool, right?
It was dope. And it wasn't it's not what I heard. It's not what I expected. Even though I don't give a fuck because I don't care who I'm around and you've been there, you've seen how I am. I'm not fucking starstruck from nobody. I don't care about none of this shit.
Yeah.
To me, there's nobody bigger than the culture. Do we all have our favorites? Yes. And we have the right to have our favorites. But I don't have a favorite where I'm blinded. I love battle. I love the sport before I love a battle rapper. Yeah. And then the leagues are in third because I don't give a fuck about one league. So one league doesn't matter to me. So in general, when I sit here and look at it, I'm like, damn, for Iron Solomon, I can sit here and think of a bunch of dope matchups. And what makes it even more fire is that we're pretty sure Iron would do it. If you sat here and thought about a bunch of matchups for Mook, which goes into what I was saying, I'm not trying to disrespect him, but there's a lot of guys who can beat Mook. And I was saying that before this battle. And people were laughing at me. There's a lot of guys who could beat Mook. But you can't give him any matchup because he's not taking that shit. You know what I'm saying? He's not taking. Let me tell you something. Let's just make an example. Just for the sake of combo. Let's say they gave him the 100,000 he wanted. You mean to tell me he said, all right, I'll take that 100,000 and battle anybody you want me to battle? I highly fucking doubt that because, all right, Big Cannon, in my opinion, to beat Mook. People don't have to believe it, but that's how I feel. I feel Av will beat Mook. I feel like you might even throw a guy like a Loso in there. And I'm talking about ball for ball. Put the fucking other shit to the side. I'm talking about skill-wise. Danny Myers will beat Mook. So at the end of the day, are these battles that Mook can win? Yes. But I'm saying we could come out and bring that up. Mook ain't taking those fucking battles.
Right.
If it's not a high-profile battle to come along Well, and that's part of my frustration when I say I feel he holding battle rap hostage sometimes, is because he can ask for the bag, but he still want to be able to have a say in who it is.
But wasn't the Verb situation him not really having a say? Because it was just like the
Yeah,
ARP gave him, and Verb was kind of losing a few battles. So it's like, you know, and everyone was saying, why'd you take him? He's like, well, why not? It's Verb, you know, whatever. It's like,
but see, you just answered the question for me, didn't me? It's still Verb.
Still Verb, right?
It's still Verb. That's still like for example, you think if RBE gave him that money and told him he had to battle show off, you think he's doing that?
Right. But yeah, I know what you're saying, and yes, definitely, but I don't think he should be battling show off, anyways. But and those other guys, yeah, I mean, bar for bar, of course, we can say that. I still don't. I still think Mook will win a lot of those battles you mentioned. Maybe not bar for bar, but just off the other intangibles. Like an Av, I've seen Av lose, so I don't know. But yeah, of course, Av can outbar him. You know, Danny Myers can out. I would imagine Danny and Mook. I know it's never gonna happen, but you know, that'd be like awesome. You know, for us. But then it's like, do I even want that battle to happen? Because you already know how these people, how the fans are, man. They're gonna be shitting on that battle from day off rip. And Danny's probably will beat him, but he's not gonna beat him. You know, like in the fans' eyes, they got like 90, like all these Verb people trying to have Mook beat Verb. Can you imagine Danny beats Mook? It's gonna be different. It's gonna be way more people saying Mook won anyways. So that would be a crazy battle. But yeah, I know, man. It's an interesting thing. I think Mook, you know, has put himself in that position where he can command. And let's be real, man. He does move the needle. I'll say that.
I mean, unbelievably. And you know what?
All the views are up for all the bloggers. It just seems like there's more interest, you know. So
listen, the truth, and again, I have to do nothing but thank RBE for having me there for the whole weekend. I saw things with my own eyes, and I was like, this is crazy. It's hard. It's hard to not give that man, not to give Mook respect. Like, listen, they have a video going around right now of Jazz reacting to Mook's part. It looks like she was gonna faint. Somebody she didn't have the look on her face like people used to look at her.
She was like, but yeah, that one specific, yeah.
Remember how
that was the whiskey line, right? That was the whiskey line he did.
I don't know.
He said risky business, and Jazz said he thought it was the greatest thing ever said in history, right?
Yeah.
She almost died, but you know, Jazz. But to be fair to Jazz, and I think that was a little ridiculous. She always liked that though, a lot. She'd be like that if you really go. If you watch Sharon and Shotgun Suge, she was acting like that for Sharon's bars. She was.
Sharon had some good bars, man.
Yeah, but she was gonna die. All right, all right. When he said, "I'll take a shotgun to school," Jazz lost it. All right, she lost it. So she does do that a lot. But then there's other times I see Jazz, like I think it was the Hitman Surf battle, where she's on her phone the whole time. She was literally texting on her phone, and she's right there on camera. It's like, why?
I remember that Hitman made a big deal about that shit.
That was that battle, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and I can't believe he made such a big deal about that.
I wouldn't have made a big deal about it, but I don't think she should have been a deal. I wouldn't even have brought it up. But
because somebody had a picture of Beasley on his phone, looking at his phone too.
That's gonna happen. That's gonna happen.
Fuck out of here, like. But at the end of the day, when I sit here and watch some of these dudes go, you know, some that earned the right to pick their fights. I just feel like it should be more one or the other. Like, if you're gonna pick your fight, you shouldn't be charging top dollar.
Right. I hear what you're saying.
If you ask me for $100,000, don't ask me for $100,000 and tell me who you're gonna battle. Like, first off, what do you think that guy's gonna cost me? And even more, if I'm giving you $100,000, my man, I don't even know that I can recoup that. Like, how the fuck you gonna really sit here and tell me you get to pick?
That's why, man. I told you, like I was saying on my live, and I know you were in there. I don't envy these owners, man. It's tough, man. I know you strive to be one, but I don't know, man. It seems like a crazy, like just dealing with a lot, man. And especially with the way that the battle rap as a culture is, the battle rappers are, the way they just be like counting pockets all the time, and I get it. They don't want to feel like they're ripped off, and it's an interesting business, man. But it's hard to quantify what you're worth, and I don't know what the solution is, to be honest with you, as far as making it fair. I don't think it's ever going to be fair, especially when numbers aren't disclosed, and they don't have to disclose them because they're private. But it's really hard, man, because like you said, everyone's throwing all these numbers out, but you want to put a fire card together, and everyone thinks they're worth 20 to 30. You're talking $200,000. What are we doing here? Is that what we're making? I don't know. I don't know if that's what they're making. Maybe they're not even making that. You hear a lot of these guys talk about it, and I forgot who I was on Twitter was talking about. He ran a league for how many years, and he said the first 2 years he lost money or broke even, and now he's making a little bit, and it's just whatever. So I just don't know what the solution is, but I don't envy being in that position to figure it out, especially league owners. So
no, it's difficult for me. Before I ever even had a blog or anything, like I've been a battle rap fan for so many years, and I just made a year blogging. And for the first portion of that year, I didn't even take it. I wasn't even putting videos out like that.
Yeah.
Realistically, if we really want to be honest, I've been blogging really the last 6 months.
Yeah.
Really. Mm-hmm. And that was something because I'm from the streets. We duck cameras. We don't get on them. You know what I'm saying? So that took me a while. But I've been a battle rap fan from forever. And I always, from way back when, always wanted to be a league owner, especially because I always wanted to have an impact on the culture. And I always wanted to be able to put together cards that was about battles and not about fucking glitz and glamour.
Yeah.
And I think RBE has done that to perfection in the last few years. Like, they have put together.
The matchups has been on point.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And that's what I really wanted to do it for.
Yeah.
I always want to be able to say, this guy is dope, this guy is dope. Because I'm a huge boxing fan. So when I sit here and look at it, it's like I'm looking for them style matches. I'm sometimes looking for the unorthodox style match because, you see a few things to see how it might fit against this person. And which I think RBE does so well. I can't salute them enough for that. Like these last few years, it's been longer than that. But from the beginning, they always put together good matchups. But in the last few years, the matchups they've came off on camera something crazy. Like I still, the other day I was sitting here, and maybe one of these days we'll talk about this too. I was sitting here, maybe 2 days ago, in complete awe. Like, yo, I was really fucking there for Elmac and JC. Like, wow. Like,
Daylight Ill Will.
I was there.
Mm-hmm. Great battle.
You understand? I'm sitting here like, yo, I can't believe when I think of some of the events I've been to, like, I was there for fucking Iron and Chiller.
And you were there for Mook and VERB.
Yeah.
Right? You were there.
Yeah.
Historic matchup, you were there.
Swave and B-Dot. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's all, yeah. That was the thing with the difference between the two cards, Summer Madness and this one, I think, was the matchup style. Because Swave and B-Dot, on paper, to the fans, like even me at first, I was like, but what a great matchup, right? And when you look past the superficial things, you realize, like I'm even a victim of that too. When I first hear a matchup, I'm like, Swave, yeah, I love Swave, but what is this battle? But no, I was wrong. And I always admit when I'm wrong. And Danny Pat, I still think was a great matchup, and I think it delivered.
I was there for that, and it was like
another one, yeah.
No, but then what I'm saying that the other day, I'm just sitting here, which goes back to the league ownership. Like I said, this is why I always want to be involved. Yeah. Was for that. For me to be able to say, hey, I put together fucking Pat Stay and Danny Myers, man.
Yeah, that's fire.
Like, I put together Matt Hoffa and Ill Will. Like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Just mind-blowing shit. Just like, wow, And I still think back to, I know you said it in your live earlier. I often think back to that mass event, man. Number one, it meant more for me because we all got to be there together. That weekend, besides the event, we had a great time.
Yep.
When I think about all that in the whole, I'm like, yo, and then on top of that, we got to be there for some of the most dopest fucking battles. Ness performed his fucking ass off that night. Whether you thought he won or he lost, like wow, when you sit there and watch, man, fucking head. I know you said, the head ice and Nems, like we were there.
Chill Iron.
Yeah, Chilla Eye is the one, of course, you know that I love that fucking battle. But it's like when we sit there and think about it, Math and Real Deal, we were there for that. Like, it's just the appreciation, especially when everybody comes with it, you know?
Yep.
You don't feel cheated. You feel like it's money well spent. And along with the battles is the memories.
That's a fact.
Like you could be right now, you could be driving to the beach right now and really fucking kick back and think about it and say, yo, man, like I was there for Money Bags and Loso.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you know, just fire shit. And that's why I always wanted to be a part of the ownership side, because I wanted to be able to put together dope matchups, whether people thought they were dope or not. Guess what? It's my dollar. And if it flops, it flops. But I want to see it happen.